start the show now with the top story for Reliance. It has been 20 years since Mukesh Ambani took over as chairman of Reliance Industries. So Sonia standing by at the big wall to walk us through Reliance's landmark journey under Mr. Ambani over the past 2 decades and also what the future could look like for the company. Sonia, it's over to you.
Well, the year 2022 marks 2 decades of Mukesh Ambani's leadership at Reliance Industries. We take you through his journey and the exponential growth the group has seen over the last 2 decades. Let's throw it way back to July 2002 when 45-year-old Mukesh Ambani took over Reliance Industries after the demise of his father, late Shri Dhirubhai Ambani. Since then, Reliance has achieved consistent and strong double-digit growth. The market capitalization of Reliance rose at an annualized rate of 20.6% in the last 20 years, rising from almost 50,000 crores in March 2002 all the way to 17.81 lakh crores in March of 2022. In fact, we've put together a table of the key financial parameters and how most metrics have seen high teens growth in the last 2 decades. If you look at the revenue and the net profit itself, they've risen 15 to 16% on an annualized basis over the last 20 years. Not just that, exports, assets, net worth have all gone up in excess of about 15% and almost 20% on asset growth for the last 20 years for the group. Well, the gains are not for the group to enjoy alone. Reliance has successfully and consistently generated wealth for investors. Reliance added 17.5 lakh crores to investor wealth in just the last 2 decades, adding an average of 87,000 crores to investor wealth every single year. Also, Reliance has displayed agility and relevance by investing in new and upcoming businesses. Reliance's E&P business made its first hydrocarbon discovery way back in 2002, and production started in 2009. After that, Reliance Retail started its operations as well, and in 2016, the big breakthrough came in when Reliance entered the highly competitive telecom industry. Reliance Jio started operations in 2016, and this led to the cost of data per GB falling from 500 rupees in India to 12 rupees post the launch of Jio. Not just that, India's ranking in broadband data consumption as well moved from 50 in 2016 to #1 in 2018. And this at a time when the traditional refining and petchem business expansion continued. So from a single refinery in 2002, Jamnagar is now the world's largest single-location refining complex. In fact, Reliance has added some of the world's largest downstream units as well, setting up the world's largest refinery off-gas cracker at Jamnagar and added the world's largest petcoke gasification unit. The last 2 decades have been full of milestones for Reliance, but now let's look ahead into the future. Reliance is committed to investing 75,000 crores in the next 3 years in its new energy businesses and aims to become the world's lowest cost producer of solar energy and green hydrogen. Reliance will be setting up 5 integrated gigafactories at Jamnagar to emerge as the world's lowest cost producer both of solar energy and green hydrogen, and the plan is to become net carbon neutral by 2035. Not just that, Reliance will start 10 gigawatts of solar PV cell and module factory. That happens in 2024, and that will be scaled up to 20 gigawatts by 2026. Remember, it was also under the leadership of Mukesh Ambani that Reliance set a record of capital fundraising way back in FY21. It raised more than 2.5 lakh crores through rights issue and minority stake sales in Jio platform and Reliance Retail Ventures to global marquee investors. During FY21, Reliance was the single largest FDI generator for India at a time when most companies were struggling to survive. Finally, let's wrap this up with Reliance Industries' commitment to corporate social responsibility. The Reliance Foundation was set up way back in 2010 with Neeta Ambani at the helm, and it has so far touched more than 6.3 crore lives and is India's biggest CSR initiative both by reach and by spend.
All right, Sonia, thanks a lot for taking us through that entire Reliance story over the past 2 decades. Truly a landmark journey. But in fact, this morning, we were also speaking to Manish Chokhani of Enam Holdings. By the way, he was one of the first few analysts on Reliance. So he's been tracking the stock for a very long time, listening to what he has to say about the stock and, where it could go from here as well.
If I'm not mistaken, already about $75 billion, which are already announced and under implementation. And when they put $1 of investment in, they know how to create $2, $3, $4 of market value from that. So from a $200 billion, whatever market cap we are today, if that 75 billion gives you the next 150 or 200 billion, you can already see a doubling of the trajectory of where this company is headed. And the big bet for the company now, obviously, is transforming the old energy into the new energy, where you'll get the solar power, the hydrogen, and the battery technology coming together. There are so many assets sitting inside which are monetizable, and the sum of parts is surely greater than what we all are able to perceive and see today, because there is already on the side the Reliance Life Sciences and so on, so many other initiatives happening inside, which one will not even be aware of, as a public investor.
All right, that is the word on Reliance Industries. But with that, we have to get into our first short break on the show. On the other side, NSE indices will undergo weighted changes effective from the 30th of December. All of the details coming up for you on the other side.